Hello there, this is Nitya. So today I wanted to jump on and share something that is a really important piece of the puzzle that I'm coming back to again and again in my message for men. So this is about your ability to master and control your ejaculations. So for most men in this world, they are used to having sex in the format of um, foreplay, having sex, ejaculation every single time they have sex, and also if they masturbate, they always masturbate to ejaculation, to release. And and by the way, these men are also very focused on giving the woman an orgasm always first. The woman comes first is such a common saying, and regardless now you see of if you're lasting a few seconds or 5 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes when you have sex, as long as you always ejaculate at the end of the lovemaking session, you will stay within the same level of sex. It's like the sandpit of sex, I like to call it, because as long as you've never experienced what it's like to choose to not ejaculate, then you won't know what lies on the other end of that. So to choose to not ejaculate and to learn how to separate your orgasm and your ejaculation. So yes, they're two different things. Will give you the ability to make love for as long as you like. So you can make love for hours. And what happens is that you actually start to empower yourself with your sexual energy. So most men who have sex and ejaculate at the end, they're actually depleting their energy reserves. So they will feel tired after having sex. Some of them can go again, but they will feel the energy decline, and most men like to go to sleep after having sex, right? Roll over and go to sleep. So it's very, very different when you start to choose to not ejaculate and you learn to separate the orgasm from the ejaculation so that you can have multiple orgasms without ejaculation. That becomes a very, very different experience, because what happens then is that you start to empower yourself with your sexual life force. You start to feel energized from not ejaculating, and you become stronger and stronger. You become more motivated, more determined, you get more clarity, more willpower, more stamina, more ability to make love for longer and longer. You can make love for hours and come out the other end feeling energized, with energy, full of vitality. So for most men, that's not the reality at all, and this is why I think it's so hard for men to actually even think in these terms or even begin to want to listen to this, because once or when you don't know about something, then it's kind of hard to imagine, and it can seem like maybe it's not so important. Yeah, but I always make sure that she comes first is like the usual answer. And that's a great thing, and I know you care for your woman, but for most women in the world who are with men who only last a few minutes, and statistically that's pretty much all the men only last for a few minutes, his woman does not get a chance to warm up. She does not get a chance to even get into enjoying sex. So this is the reason why sex becomes not very interesting for a lot of women, and that's saying that she has lower libido than you might not actually be the truth. It can be very much more likely the fact that she's not interested in having sex anymore, where you are coming after 3 minutes, and then it's much more easy for her to say that she's busy or she's got something else she want to do, you know. And this is a very unfortunate situation, and to even want to begin to open up to the concept of that it's possible to control your ejaculations. It's possible to empower yourself with your sexual life force so that you can choose to make love for hours. And this is not what most men think. It's like, abstaining from ejaculation, which is like some kind of vow of celibacy and kind of some monk kind of thing to do, and holding back the ejaculation seems like a strenuous and hard work. So that is not at all what it is. It might seem like that in the beginning, but actually to make love for hours can be the easiest thing to do, where it actually becomes a natural flow of energy and it's not a strain. And it gives you energy. It empowers you rather than deplete you, because when men ejaculate every time they have sex for a whole lifetime, they run out of energy at a certain point in time. This is why it's so common that men that reach the 50s, they don't even get it up anymore, and the women lose interest in that type of sex, and most married couples around that age, they don't really hardly have sex anymore. And that's a very unfortunate situation. And it's because men and women have not experienced sex above the level of sandpit sex. And as long as you're staying in that paradigm of sex that always end in ejaculation, you become very focused on giving her an orgasm, because otherwise it feels not so good to ejaculate if she hasn't come, right? So you become very focused on making sure that she has an orgasm or two before you come inside her. And that is like, it's like being trapped in a hamster wheel, if you ask me. There's no way out, because you're going to build up the energy and deplete yourself. Build it up, deplete yourself. Build it up, deplete yourself. And the woman is forced into fitting into your pattern too, of trying to make herself come really quickly, because if she doesn't, she's going to miss out altogether. And it doesn't have to be like this, but you got to open up to the possibility that there's something else, and that ejaculation is just the beginning of sex, and it's something that is only really needed for making babies, or sometimes occasionally for just the body's natural way of releasing. But it's not needed every time you have sex. It's not needed in order to have an orgasm. You have so much to gain from learning to control and master ejaculations and empower yourself with your sexual life energy, so that you can make love for hours and see your woman begin to enjoy sex and begin to open up to the next level and the next level and the next level, which most women unfortunately don't get to see. And so that's really pretty much what I want to share with you here today, because I know this concept is hard to grasp. A lot of men don't kind of even want to listen, because they are so hooked into this pattern of focus on their orgasm and their ejaculation, and they don't realize that they are playing in the sandpit of sex, and they're not walking through the doorway into the next paradigm where they can empower themselves with their own sexual life energy, and really get to see what they're made of sexually, and really get to see what happens to the woman when she gets a chance to not only just be tickled to warm up, but actually gets a chance to open up to the next level and the next and the next. So yeah, even the men I work with sometimes struggle to kind of want to hear this, because when you've only ever lasted a few seconds or a few minutes, the goal is kind of to last a bit longer and maybe get to experience coming together with your partner. And that's a beautiful thing, and it is a milestone, but it's still just the beginning. There's so much more to this. So sex is the bridge between earth and heaven in its truest sense. And that's what I'm here to share. If you have any questions or want to know how to work with me, leave me a private message or in the comments. Either way, I look forward to talk to you. Bye-bye.